Good afternoon, everybody. I am here with Mrs. Sally Steele, a middles teacher and also the head of the infants department, and somebody really is core to St. Gabriel's School. So, Mrs. Steele, welcome this afternoon talking. Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to talk with me. And I just want to begin by asking you, who is Sally Steele, a bit out of St. Gabriel's? And let me begin by saying, by the way, that Sally Steele is like a movie star name. She should be in Hollywood, right? So outside of being built for Hollywood with a super movie star named Sally Steele, who is Mrs. Steele?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Richard. Wow, that sounds amazing. I think I'm in the wrong profession then. You should have spoken to me 40 years ago. I might have done something different.
No problem.
Who am I outside of St. Gabriel's? That's really difficult because I'm so defined by St. Gabriel's. It's hard to know who I am outside of St. Gabriel's. I mean, I love being with my family, and I have close family in England, in California. So when I do get an opportunity to travel, those are the places I go to most. I like to go to other places as well, but they're the places I go to most. And when I'm at home, I love, again, to be around the family, but I also love the beach. I do love the beach, swimming, snorkeling, and all of that, and meeting up with friends. And I do like seeing the exploits of my past pupils as well. So I'm not on Facebook, but because if I was, I would just stalk them. So I have to hold back on that.
Fair enough, man. You share a lot of my passions as well. I love to travel. I absolutely love the beach, so that must be a St. Gabriel's thing. And
Maybe.
Yes, maybe. And I love to see our alumni across the board excelling, from our teachers to our staff to our former students and current students. So that's outstanding. So tell me a bit, how long have you been, I know it's been a while, no matter how young you look, but how long have you been a part of the St. Gabriel's family?
Okay, well, let's see. Before I was born, my sister attended St. Gabriel's and my mother was involved with St. Gabriel's. When I was 4, I went to St. Gabriel's and I stayed there till I was 9. And then I came back to St. Gabriel's after university, after qualifying to be a teacher. So I started back at St. Gabriel's in 1983 as a teacher. And then when my children came along, I became a parent at St. Gabriel's. So I've been a pupil, teacher, parent, and I've never left. So I've been there consistently since 1983, but way back from the 60s, really. So yeah, I have a lot to do with St. Gabriel's and a long association in different ways with St. Gabriel's as well.
That's outstanding. We hear that story so much, about people who went to school at St. Gabriel's and then their kids go back to St. Gabriel's, and sometimes they have grandkids at St. Gabriel's. But it seems to be that, it's not a short journey. We're there for the long run at St. Gabriel's School. And we're so grateful for you all. I made mention when I interviewed Mrs. Collymore that when I returned to St. Gabriel's with my boys, my older boys, that I found Mrs. Collymore, Mrs. Evelyn, I found Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Date, Mrs. Manning, Mrs. Hall, right?
Oh.
And they were all there and all looked the same. I remember how they looked, So it's really outstanding, man.
You're just telling us that we look very old when you were young, that's all.
No, not at all, not at all. It's outstanding that, after all these years that y'all are all still there and doing such an incredible job, so thank you so much. But having been there for so long, I know you have lots and lots of memories, but tell me about one or two of the memories that really stand out about after teaching there for these years.
Well, different memories. There's so many, as you say. It's really, as a parent, I have a couple of memories with my children. I remember because I worked part-time when my children were little. I worked job sharing for a little bit. So one day I came to collect my son. He was in middle infants and he's sitting on the gallery waiting like he's supposed to be. And I saw him and I'm like, yay, fine, come on. And he started to cry. And I thought, oh, the poor child, he's had a terrible day. And now he's letting it all out now that his mother's here. And his teacher looked at me and said, I don't know I don't know. So I take this child by the hand and I'm like, what's wrong? He didn't want to leave school. He did not want to come home. So I go down by the blue benches and the parents are down there, as we used to be able to collect. And they're like, oh, poor Simon, what's wrong with him? And I'm like, he doesn't want to leave school. How's this an advertisement for the school as I drag him out? So he just loved it. And then with my daughter, she was in top infant, so she was 6, 7, and we had the Easter bonnet parade like we used to have. They had a big stage. They asked her to dance the kite dance, and it was just her on the stage, a little 7-year-old. And she got up the steps and she said, the music was about to start, she said, "Mommy, I'm frightened." And I said, "You don't have to do it, right? You don't have to, but if you want to, you can try it." And she went on and she danced her solo and she did beautifully, and everybody was really impressed. And she was pleased that she had done it, and that helped her as she's moved on. She's continued with dancing and she's done all kinds of things as well. But that's something that she got from St. Gabriel's. She didn't really want to do it, but she understood the importance. It was only her and everybody was waiting for her, and she did it. And that's really wonderful. St. Gabriel's has done that for my children. As you say, it's helped your children, and it's been fantastic. As far as teaching is concerned, I won't tell you all the stories about some of the children and what they've done and what they've said about their parents and so on, but I just love to be with the children and see them. And I also love the camaraderie of the teachers. As you say, many teachers have been there many years. So we get to know each other well, and it's not that we always socialize outside of school, but we have a good rapport within school, and we're always working for the same thing, what's good for the school. So it's just great having that camaraderie among the staff as well. I love that. It's a nice place to work. When I went there at age 22 and they said, "There's no pension plan here," and I'm like, why would that bother me? I'm 22. I'm not going to be here when I'm, older. And guess what? I'm still there. I never left,
That is so incredible. That is so incredible. And that story happens over and over again at St. Gabriel's. And when you talk about your daughter dancing, the school really encourages not just, math and English and pure academics. You really push kids to excel in whatever their talent is, whatever God-given talents are. And I have benefited from that, and so have my children, and so have your children, and it's really an outstanding place. And I just want to commend you for being a part of that, because it's not easy to balance being, having excellence when it comes to being 11 plus. And most recently, the spelling bee, by the way, congratulations.
Oh, fantastic. I taught all 3 of those children, by the way. That makes me so proud.
Congratulations. That makes us so proud. And, when you leave St. Gabriel's, you have that pride of not only going to a school that was diverse and cool, but you're part of a school that's full of excellence. And again, this whole spelling bee, first, second, and third is not to be taken lightly. And I want to commend you and all of the teachers, from Miss McGuire back up to the top to Miss Thornton and the J4 teachers, because it really is all of you that makes it happen. And we're so grateful and so proud. So tell me a bit about that spelling bee experience. How did you feel?
Oh, excited, except, I was teaching online. So you're trying to watch the link, and people are sending messages and saying, okay, it's down to 10 and it's down to 5, and it was amazing. It was very exciting, and having known all 3 of those children and their parents as well, that made it just more exciting. And the teachers were all on WhatsApp, sort of sending messages back and forward, and who'd got the latest information, and who you were checking when you were online how it was going. It was really exciting for all of us. It was if we'd been in school, it would have been incredible. We would have been watching it on live sort of thing. But it was a wonderful experience.
Well, we were all watching online during class that entire day. We were all watching. All the classes had it on, and it was incredible. It was almost like watching the West Indies win for once. It was that kind of jubilating feeling that you had, man.
Exactly. Right? Euphoria. It was incredible. Yeah, and we all felt that it was us. It was we all felt a part of it, which is great.
Absolutely. And it's not only commendable that we're doing this thing still, but we're doing it in the toughest times that the world has ever seen. And I must commend you, Mrs. Steele, because I know that we have seen each other about 100 times in the schoolyard, with you literally directing traffic in the sun, in the rain,
Oh, yes.
all over the place when we first went back in. So, you definitely go way beyond the call. We thank you so much for your dedication and for your service, and just being an outstanding person. So what does it mean to you, Miss? It means a lot for us to have you a part of the family, but what does it mean to you to be a part of the St. Gabriel's family?
Well, because it's just like family. So I do anything for my family. So I do anything for the school. You know, I try to jump in there and do whatever is necessary. When I was teaching top infants, I jumped into the pool. I went swimming with them. You know, whatever needs to be done, I'll get in there and do it as best as I can, because it's for the good of everyone, for all of us, and the school has a legacy that we have to continue. You know, I was there for the 50th anniversary. I guess I'll be there for the 75th at this rate as well. So, you know.
We hope so. We hope so. Because we need you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you haven't got rid of me yet, so hanging in there.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for your dedication and for everything done for the school. And thank you for handing on that legacy, you know, because at the end of the day, the younger teachers coming in, they're learning the legacy from you and from the staff have really carved out excellence. So thank you so much, Mrs. Steele. I just want you to finish by saying your name and that you love St. Gabriel's. And then that'll be all right. I promise you be short and sweet, and it was, correct?
That's correct, yes.
All right,
Thank
so on the count of three, Mrs. Steele, you tell me, I am Sally Steele and I love St. Gabriel's, and that's a wrap. Yeah?
All righty, thank you.
1, 2, 3.
My name is Sally Steele and I love St. Gabriel's School.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Steele. You have a wonderful day, and thank you for everything.
You too. Thank you as well, because we do appreciate what you all have done, honestly.
You're very, very welcome.
All right. Thanks, Richard. Made it painless. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
This is the St. Gabriel song, and we sing it proud and strong. We are one family. Every culture, every race, we all have an equal space, and we live in unity. It's unity every day, that is the St. Gabriel's way. You and me in unity is strength. In the class and when we play, it's unity every day. You and me in unity is strength. In unity, oh, you and me, hey, you and me in unity is strength.